Hey yo, it's time to roar, get loud, let's ignite. Jeremy B in the house, we keeping it tight. Every weekday at 11, we ready to ride. Lions Talk Live, come and join the pride. Waking up early, it's that morning grind. Tune in to the show, leave the troubles behind. Jeremy B's the king, with the voice like thunder. Every word he spits, it's a lyrical wonder. Got the lions around, sharp and fierce. When we hear one pride, you can't help but feel your heart pierce. Talking all the topics, keep it real, keep it raw. With a Lions mentality, we're ready for the roar. One pride, it feels right. Jeremy B bringing the heat, morning light. Every weekday at 11, we taking flight. Lions Talk Alive, yeah, we ready to bite. One pride, hear us loud. Jeremy's in the zone, making us proud.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Good afternoon. It is Lions Talk with Smoke and Jeremy B. How's everybody doing today? It is PFF Day. But as I said earlier today, it's also International Podcast Day. So for all of you that do podcasts on the network and those of you that do podcasts outside of this network, thank you for what you do. We got Fruity Fred Peterson in the chat. I already went through and copied in our top 5 and bottom 5 for each one. And you know what? Normally we go top 5. Let's go bottom 5, and I'm going to start with the defense. Paul Jones in the house. Yeah, I can see it happening. But it is International Podcast Day. Let's start with the bottom 5 defensive players. At the very bottom was Talik Williams. Then it was Terrion Arnold. Then it was Malik Robertson. Then it was Pat Connor and Roy Lopez. So it wasn't just Terrion Arnold that had a bad game. That's according to PFF. It was Talik with a 49. Terrion Arnold, who actually improved from last week, who had a 49, went up to a 58.7. Amik Robertson was only a little above him at 59.2. Pat Connor, 60. And defensive lineman Ray Lopez at a 64.7. All of that's below average to awful. Anything below a 50 is awful. That's awful. Our 5 highest graded players: DJ Reed, Trevor Nowoski, Al-Qadim Muhammad, Jack Campbell, Aiden Hutchinson. Amazing. It's almost the exact same list as the week before. The only thing difference is right here. Instead of DJ Reed, it was DJ Reader. Now let's go with the lowest offensive lineman. And I don't get one of these. Trisha Mahogany. Taylor Decker. Why is he down here? He owned Myles Garrett. David Montgomery. He did have a bad game. Tate Ratledge. Oh, look at that. Wait, both guards on there. That might explain why David Montgomery would not get free. Who did I say when I was talking to Big Strilla would probably have the game? I said it might be Gibbs. I expect Monty to do well, but I could see Gibbs breaking out this game because of the runs to the outside. It happened. And Jamison Williams, who did have a bad game. He had 2 key drops. Their one pass to him was the interception, but he did have 2 key receptions too. So at the same time, there's good and bad with all of it. Now let's look at who is the highest. Of course, Panay Sewell, Amon Ra, Graham Glasgow, Jared Goff, Sam LaFlorida. Now, I don't know if you heard them talk about Micah Parsons on the Sunday Night Football game and how it looked like he wasn't really doing much until, I think it was the 4th quarter. How the hell is he the highest rated player by PFF this week when there are so many good performances outside of him? I'm just asking because I didn't see that great a play out of him. I saw him getting owned by a backup tackle. Yes, he has the speed. He got around the edge in the 4th quarter to tackle Dak Prescott, who was running with the ball, not trying to throw it prior to him crossing the goal line. But at the time he got outside the tackle and had the ball tucked, he should have been considered a runner. It shouldn't have been a sack, but they gave it to him anyways. to make it look good. That's my opinion. It's no different than Patty Mahomes. Always have their knobs cleaned by the media. Know how? I'm not going there. But what I will go there about is it looks like we had a lot of good and bad performances on both sides of the ball, which explains why David Montgomery wasn't doing well. It's amazing that he doesn't practice each week and still puts up. We haven't given up a sack in 3 weeks. Not one sack has gotten through this deep offensive line since week 1. Not one. I will say the presence of Micah Parsons has made it better for Rashawn Gary. Anybody who doesn't think that hasn't watched the Packers. Because Rashawn Gary's having a season. But they beat 2 playoff teams right off the rip. They whooped our ass and then they whooped the Commanders' ass. I ain't saying nothing else but that. I agree. Because Dak was gone. There was no one in front of him. If Parsons didn't get around as fast as he is, and he is fast, I am not taking anything away from Parsons on that play. On that play, he made a game-saving play. But Jim Jackson, here you go, Ricky, for you. There we go. Let me add some light to the subject here. Forgot to turn on my light. Other than that, we're playing the Bengals this week. Is anybody scared of the Bengals? And I know any given Sunday, but we haven't looked past anybody. Everybody's like, "Oh, make sure you can rush over 100 yards versus the Browns." Like, yeah, I know, I know. I don't think Commanders are a playoff team at the moment. Commanders are also missing their QB. Yes, they are. This is the week where he could be coming back. He was not placed on IR. Goodness. Yes, I got visiting nieces and nephews, and yes, I got the great niece and nephew here too. So it may get loud in the background. You may hear babies crying. It's okay. Family's family, but I do my show. I can't control what happens outside my room. The Bengals O line has looked abysmal all season. That's why Joe Burrow's hurt. Let's be real. That organization must hate Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, and Jamar Chase because they keep putting out an O line more porous than a fishing net. So what they have 4 6. I agree. I agree, but you know what? That tie feels like a loss. I haven't watched until last night. They are worse than our practice. They made our practice squad look like NFL caliber. That O line might not be UFL caliber or CFL caliber. It's awful for the Bungles. Who Day, they suck. Who Dat, the Saints, they're not much better. But the Saints actually put up a fight versus the Bills. I was impressed. I think the Bills were looking past them and said, "Oh shit, we got to play," and put something together at halftime to make it look better. Because at halftime, it looked like it was way closer than I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be 35-0 by the end of the first quarter. Josh Allen running 3 in and throwing for 2. I don't sugarcoat it. When I make mistakes, I call them out. To an extent. Yeah, I remember we basically gave Goff a massive contract to average per year. They say I keep hearing people say 48, but it was 50. Hey, yes, sir, Jim Jackson. Guess who said we might be 3-1 after 4 weeks? And everybody laughed at me. And I said, I think our first loss comes week 1. I said that when I saw the schedule because we owed Baltimore. And I didn't trust the Browns quarterback situation. They still have more quarterbacks than we do. But they made a trade. They got an offensive lineman. The Texans hate CJ Stroud. Cam Robinson traded from the Texans to the Cleveland Browns, not the other way around. So I think they're trying to protect Flacco. Say what you want. I think they're going to run with Flacco again this week. You know why? They know they're a bad team and they don't want to get those rookies killed. They got them for at least 3 more seasons. That's just my opinion on it. They're going to reset and draft more offensive linemen next year for the Browns. You know what's horrible for the Browns? They got to restructure everybody they just re-signed. Because next year they're 11 million over the cap because of the Deshaun Watson deal from pushing it down the road. So all that can kicking, it comes back to haunt you later. People could say there's no such thing as a salary cap, but every year we see teams have to push the can down the road and make it worse and longer for their future, aka also known as the Saints or the Aints, as we like to call them. The first team to ever wear bags on their head. No, Watson won't be back. I'm just saying Watson is stuck on their roster. They can't do anything with him. That Watson deal is the reason why they're sitting like they are right now. Say what you want. That's why they are where they are. And pretty soon the Browns will be the Saints of the future from kicking the can down the road, is what I'm saying. They're at the restructure guy, move money, make backloaded contracts, be even more backloaded, add void years just to avoid being overcapped for consecutive years. That's why I love what we do. We don't wait till the last second to resign people. That's why they're working on Hunt. It's going to take time because they're in season and there's practice and everything else. I told everybody when I saw the news email I got, they're working on JMO first and Hutt second. I got yelled at. There's no way they were going to sign JMO before Hutt. I don't know. I think his confidence wouldn't have been rattled, and he wouldn't have had taken a year and a half to get back to being Baker. You know what? But we keep saying that. But what did we also say about QBs in the league? The QBs don't have a chance when they play as rookies to develop because they're stuck out there in game situations with the same mechanical mistakes, making the same mental errors, and it perpetuation repeats perpetuation. So if you're making the same mistakes you made in college and you're doing it at the pros level where the pros play better, aren't you going to look like a worse quarterback? We've seen it time and time again. The great ones, they come out and they're fine. But how many great ones have there been? Motown Mitch, good to see you, brother. What up, though? Lions rule, Bears drool. Packers are mid at best, and Vikings are actually queens. And we got Pat in the house. It's but let me put him up there again for those that didn't know. Our least graded defenders. Talik Williams at the 49, Terrion Arnold with a 58.7, Amik Robinson 59.2, Pat Connor at 60, and Ray Lopez at 64.7. Our lowest graded offensive players with a minimum of 10 snaps. Christian Mahogany 39.4, Decker 40.4, Montgomery with a 44.6, Tate Ratledge with a 46.5, and Jamison Williams with a 47. He with Reed, it's a hammy strain, grade 2. It's anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks. He could be back at 4, but it's more than likely it's 6 weeks. I think a good guy to kick the tires on is Stephen Gilmore, who's still a free agent and hasn't retired. Exactly. You know, people are saying, "Oh, we don't pay our stars." We do pay our stars. We pay the stars we drafted. We don't pay stars from other teams. There's a reason why we do these prove it deals with players that hasn't played or been injured and everything else because they're roster fillers. Brad Holmes told us he was going to do that. I'm going to give guys chances you guys aren't going to like. Remember when he said that at his introductory presser? He actually told us that was his plan. Until this roster is built complete, that's what I'll do. And he stayed true to his word. Now, he didn't say injury prone per se, but he just said, I'm going to be looking for players you guys don't think of. And he's right. He has. We gave a shot to the wide receiver of the Chargers that came out. Was it Tyrell Williams? And he fell apart in the first game. Yeah. Yeah. 94.9, Paul Jones. I know it drives me batshit crazy. I don't see how he's rated with 1 sack in a game. And what do you have? 3 tackles, 1 sack, 2 assisted. And he had 8 pressures. Woo-hoo. You know, when we talk about Aiden's pressures when he doesn't get a sack, we're gaslighting all the other deep edges out there. Well, guess what? Mike Versus has 2.5 sacks. El Kadim Muhammad has 3.5 sacks through 4 games. It is. It's media bias. It seems that way. I don't think Tate Ratledge and Decker were as bad as they made them out to be. But our highest offensive and defensive players. Let's start with the defense. Aiden Hutchison, 92.6. Jack Campbell, 89.3. El Kadim Muhammad, 86.2. Trevor Nowaski, are my guy out of SVSU, 84.6. And DJ Reed. Offensive. Panay Sewell, 80.7. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 70.2. Graham Glasgow, 70.1. Jared Goff, 66.8. And Sam Laporta with a 62.9. And Laporta, while he didn't light up the stat sheet with catches, he was doing great with the run block. I agree. He should be up there. You know what's great about victories Mondays and Tuesdays? Do you guys know what's great about it? I know you guys loved it yesterday. I'm going to do it again today here shortly. All I know is Tariq Hill hurt me last night when he went out. That hurt my team fantasy wise. Austin and I will be doing our fantasy show Saturday night at 10 p.m. Make sure you tune in. I won't be loading. I'm 2-2. I lost this week in both my leagues. Hutcher could realistically win MVP at the. You never know. NFL biases. Sometimes the script talk seems valid. Sad officials still control too much and overlook too much. I, this year, I've seen it more overlooking stuff, and that's just me. I think it's very fair what's happened. But you know what? It's still looking a lot like last year, isn't it? Except second and third place is switched. Let's start at the top. Fuck it. The top of the division right now is we are the kings of the north. Kings of the North, 3-1. In second place, SJB. Fuck the Packers. In third place, they got Skullbuck. And last but not least, fuck the Bears. Amen. Forward down the field, a charging team that does not yield. And when the blue and silver wave, stand and cheer the brave. Rock, 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 go hard, win that game. With honor you will keep your fame down the field and gain a Lions victory. Go Lions! That's what feels good about Tuesdays. I get to sing it again because it was Victory Monday, Victory Tuesday. We're still in first place. I was told we'd have first place for 6 hours. That's changed. Yeah, you know, Ravens, D-Hop pushed off on him, and he got called for the penalty. I don't hold that against him. He got pushed off on first if you go back and rewatch it. And then D-Hop played to the official. Ah, it's King SJ from over in Canada, eh? But it is lunchtime, and I smell food, and the fat man's hungry. So thank you for watching. Have a blessed day, and I'll be here tomorrow because that's what I do.
Turn it up, it's that time again. Jeremy B. Lines, he's your best friend. Every weekday, Evan, you know the vibe. He's shouting one ride with that rockin' drive. Rolling up the scene, light up that fire. Jeremy's in the booth, taking us higher. With a grin and a laugh, he's got the crowd in a blaze. Smoking out the haters in a rock star haze. The stories that inspire and riffs that will ignite. When one pride echoes, everything feels right. Jeremy Beelan, every day at 11. Yelling one beat right like we're in rock heaven.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.